Hey YouTube, hey C494 here, and I'm super excited about something that Primary Arms sent me. So I've been contacting Primary Arms and asking them to send me an optic for a couple months now. And I told them that I had restarted my YouTube channel and stuff like that, and I talked to Dimitri and a couple of and whoever runs their Facebook page. That might also be Dimitri, I'm not sure. But every time they were willing to send me an optic, it was one that I already had. So I was like, yeah, I've already got that one, because I use their products even, you know, before they sent me one. So I'm super stoked that they sent me the 3-18, because I'd been asking if they would send me this one specifically, and I think I just aggravated them enough for them to finally send it. So I'm about to pull this thing out of the box with you guys. I'm going to put it on my Ruger American Predator, and I'm going to do a scope tracking test with it out of the box. So I already took my scope rings off. This is the Primary Arms 4-14, or not R-grid, mil dot reticle. All right, so let's open the box. 3-18 by 50. And this is their Athena BPR mil reticle. All right. Alright, looks like a scope. Yeah, looks like a scope. It's got instructions in here and such, but we don't use those. Alright. Scope caps. Nice. I think I'd mentioned in a video before, whenever I first get a scope, I always play with it a little bit so that it's not so rough working whenever I first try to use them. So I'll go through the magnification range from 3-18 a couple times. I'll take the, oh, these are locking turrets. Actually, I did not know that these were locking turrets. All right, so, ooh, those are nice. All right, let's go back down to 0. Do the same thing with windage. Okay, let's do the parallax adjustment. It's a little stiff, not bad. Alright, illumination, least important one to me. Alright, now, let's mount this scope. Alright, put it on its highest magnification. This is going to be very hastily put on this gun, because this is not the gun that it's going to ride on. This is just for a scope tracking test. So, let's see how the eye box looks the way it is right now. Can't see nothing unless I adjust that a little bit. Right. Oh, wow. It has an extremely forgiving eye box at 18 power. Okay. Bubble level here. Okay. Bubble level on the scope cap. Alright, good. Alright, that only took 27 minutes. Alright, let's just look through this scope. Alright, go ahead and bring the camera on there. Let the viewers see how awesome the scope looks. I mean, it doesn't do it justice, obviously, but oh yes. Alright. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zero the rifle with this scope on it, and then I'm going to go back to 100 meters. I'm at 100 yards right now. go back to 100 meters, shoot a group, make a 10 mil adjustment on the scope, shoot another group, go back down to 0, shoot one last shot, and then we're going to measure the percentage of scope tracking error. Stand by. Alright YouTube, so I zeroed the rifle scope to the rifle at 100 yards, and now I'm at 100 meters, and I'm about to put 3 rounds of 6.5 Creedmoor through it. This is for the scope tracking error test. Might need hearing protection. Alright. The mirage is so bad. Alright, so fired my first 3. Make a 10 mil adjustment up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no! Huh? I can only get 8 out of it? What the H? Well, I guess I would need a bigger base if I could do that. It's alright. We'll do it with 8. Alright. Let's go back down to 0. Fire one more shot. All right, let's go check that out. I'm at the 100 meter target that I just shot at with the Ruger American Predator and 6.5 Creedmoor with the primary arms 3 to 18 Athena mil BPR scope that they sent me, and my original point of impact was down here. I made the 8 mil adjustment that I needed to make, that I could make. I wanted to do a 10 mil adjustment, but I would need a 20 MOA base in order to achieve that. And unfortunately I didn't have that, so I could only get 8 mils out of it. But it didn't matter because I had a 0% scope tracking error. So my point of impact for my second shot group is right here, 80 centimeters above my original point of impact. And then I went back down to 0, so I thought, and fired one last shot, and it impacted right here. Upon further inspection of my scope, turns out I had gone -1, so that was my bad whenever I did that. So the scope tracked perfect, 100%. Primary Arms is doing something right with their scopes right now. Be looking forward to videos that I release with that scope where I have it on a gun that Aerodynamics is building me. They're building me a 6mm comp match that I'm going to be shooting in competitions and such. And I plan on slapping that scope on that gun and running in a couple of matches. Alright YouTube, so I have done a scope tracking test with this scope, and I know that it tracks perfectly, but that's kind of not the point of a scope like this. If you look at the picture here, the scope has a mil relation inside of it that you can use to hold over for your bullet drop and such. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to chrono my ammo, and then I'm going to plug it into a ballistic calculator, and then I'm going to shoot targets out to 535 yards. So, yeet. 2666. 2610. 2618. Alright, so that gives me an average velocity of 2631, standard deviation of 30. So the standard deviation sucks, but I had said that before about the American gun or ammunition that I'm shooting out of the gun currently. It's not the greatest ammo in the world, but this gun still shoots it good. And for the target distances that we're shooting today, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so 2631 is the magic number that I'm going to plug into my ballistic calculator. Alright, so I plugged in the numbers for a 0.58 G1 ballistic coefficient and a bullet speed of 2,630 and a height over bore of 2.6. That gave me numbers 1.1 at 300, 2 at 400, 2.95, so basically 3 at 500, and 3.3 at 535. So I'm going to use this scope the way that it was intended to be used, which is with the mill reticle that's inside of that's etched into the scope, and I'm going to shoot these targets at 3, 4, 5, and 535. So Ash, hop on glass.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready.
Send it.
Hit.
Hit. Hit. Hit.
All right. That's the way this scope is intended to be run, is by using the mill relation inside of it, and it's very, very easy to do and easy to pick up, obviously. Be looking forward to the videos that I post with this scope later, where I have it on my 6mm comp match that Aerodynamics is building for me. All right, Ash, you're going to go 300, 400, and 500. All right. I'll be looking through the spotting scope. Hit. 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 All right, so what do you think of the scope overall?
I like it. I think it's a lot of scope for the money. It's a good price point. Glass is pretty clear. I like the reticle. You can pick out, I've run a 3-18 on mine as well. I was running that on 18, but you're able to see the numbers on out, you know, to 3, 4, and 5. So it's easy to do holdovers. And I was messing with your turrets earlier, and the clicks are positive. You can hear them. I can stay down on the glass and hear the clicks and feel them well. Overall, I like it.
So the way I feel about the scope after shooting it for a majority of the day today and having other people sit down behind the gun and check it out and stuff like that is basically, for the quality that you're getting here and the price, the only people that can beat Primary Arms is Primary Arms. Hey, C494 out.